know you guys are excited. So we'll be starting in a minute or two. We're about to get Lady Anna online, but in the meantime, I thought we would get ourselves ready and organized. And we're just about doing that. Give us a minute. And do me a favor when you guys come on, share the live right away, because tonight is going to be very, very interesting and very intriguing. So when you get on, just please do me a favor and share the live so that you could get other friends and other followers to get this information. It's going to be very important. You do not want to miss this one. Trust me. All right, let me try to see if I can get Anna on the line. Because nothing is hidden and nothing is a secret tonight. We're getting it all out. Hello, Lady Anna.
No.
Good night. Good night. All right, do me a favor, guys. Once you're on the live and you're able to hear myself and you're able to hear Lady Anna, we want you to, before we dive into the conversation and before we dive into everything, we want to ensure that you guys are hearing us and there's no mishaps and no miscommunication. So please comment that you're hearing everyone so we can know, so that you do not miss the info that is being divulged. Okay, Lady Anna, I'm glad I have you online. We're just getting started, getting everything organized, and sharing in the different platforms and the different portfolios so people can know where to find us. Because there's so many different mediums as far as where people are tonight. And we want to grab everyone's attention to this live because it's very important and it's very informative to those who don't know. So yourself, you can advise them where we are, and so that you can get your followers up on here as well. And I'm doing the same as we speak. So within a minute, we should be good. But I just want to make sure everyone know that you're online and you have all the documents and all the details as far as to divulge the information they want to hear tonight.
Okay, no problem.
Good. All right, so let me see. That's one side. Let me go on this side here and share. So how's the weather down there in Jamaica tonight, Lady Anna?
It's pretty cool. The weather is cool. It was raining a little bit, but it's okay right now.
It's okay. It's not that bad, right?
No, it's not bad now. It's pretty cool right now.
Good. We had some rain today as well, and it was hotter a few weeks ago, but as it is right now, it's not that hot. So we're feeling, I'd say we're pretty much on a Jamaica temperature as it is normally in the Florida region, which is where I am. But usually in other states and other places of the United States, sometimes it gets pretty cold. Even when we get cold temperature, it would more be like, I'd say something like a Mandeville temperature is what we get in Florida, just so people can have an idea. But I think that's the region that you're located, right?
Yes, I'm in Mandeville.
Okay, good. All right, so while you're at it, Donna, and you're on, we have quite a few people and the numbers are climbing up. But in the meantime, what I'll allow you to do is just start by introducing yourself and let us get to know a little bit about you so that people can know who you are and what you represent.
Okay, good night, everyone. This is Lady Anna from Blessings of the Flow Charitable Program. I've been operating this charitable program from 2020, April 2020. I mostly do all my charitable deeds on Facebook at Blessings of the Flow. And I'm 33 years of age. That's about it.
Okay, good. So you're 33 years of age and you've been doing this again for how many years?
From 2020.
2020. We're currently in 2022. So you'd say roughly you've been doing this since, I'd say I'd still give you a few extra months maybe, but I'd say you started this roughly when you were about 30 years old.
Yes.
Okay. And if you started it when you're about 30 years old, as far as official start, it would have already mean that you've had the idea as far as doing charitable program or helping people prior to that.
Sure do.
Okay, good, good, good. And so far, how has it been as far as what you've been doing and what you've been trying to accomplish?
Well, sometimes some days are good, some days are not good. You know, like today was a good day. I went to Chilani to visit a recipient, and she, being around her, there's never a dull moment being around her. Miss Mabel, she's always jovial. She's always praying. She's always a praying person. So with her prayers, she always encourages me to push on. But some days are bad when you have, because you're doing the charity and social media, you have a lot of negativity that may come by from some persons. And sometimes it do drain your energy because I'm only human. So some days are just not good.
Okay. So basically, even though you are in Mandeville, you're saying that you travel as far as down to Trelawney to also help people in the Trelawney parish. It's not just Mandeville that you do different charitable stuff.
No, I try to focus on just Mandeville, Manchester area. I try to focus on just this area because it's really, really rough with the vehicle that I'm driving. Sometimes the vehicle get mashed up and gas is very expensive and stuff like that. So I try to stay in Manchester. But oftentimes persons that are living out of Manchester would call to ask for assistance. And depending on the nature of the situation, then sometimes my heart can't give me to ignore the cries. So I go to Clarendon. I went to Kingston twice.
Okay.
I went to Kingston twice. I'm a female. She even calling to ask her sister. She know that I don't do charity in Kingston. But she continued to call, and she was in the hospital, and then she started showing me some pictures of her in the hospital wanting to do a surgery, but unfortunately she was unable to find the money to do the surgery. So she was taking the pictures when she was on the bed and everything, and the story just touched me. So I ended up in Kingston, and I went to Chilani in more than one occasion. I have a couple of recipients in Chilani that benefited from the program. I have recipients, a couple of them in Clarendon, also St. Elizabeth.
Oh, so you go as far.
I also went to Westmoreland at one point to assist a blind lady. She wanted some help down here in Westmoreland, and I drove from Mandeville to go to Westmoreland to assist her down there.
All right, so quick question. As it is now, you are traveling and trying to assist a bunch of people. You are traveling and trying to do different things as far as feeding them and giving them whatever needs or whatever help they request. However, any of these people that you are helping, is it a situation where you have to be continuously helping them? Or sometimes it's a situation where you help them and now they're okay, that they don't need help anymore? How does that work? Because, for example, if you go and you visit someone they're hungry and you're able to give them a meal on a particular day, what happens the next day or the next week? How does that go? So is it something that you have to be doing consistently, or it's something that some situations are different and then you help them and they're okay, but some persons need continuous help?
Okay, some persons need continuous help, while some persons you help and you move on. Some persons you would assist them to start a small business and then they would venture off on their own. But for example, Miss Mabel, Miss Mabel, don't really have the support like that. She only have one child. She's an elderly lady. She only have one child, and her daughter is big woman, and she's also sick.
All right,
So
let's do this. Let's do this before you. I'm not cutting you. You're gonna continue, but what we want to do is let's address some of these different persons that you have, their situation, what areas of help these persons would need. So some persons we have online now that are listening, if they would decide that they want to help, we want them to be able to write information down, have an idea how they can help and be beneficial to any of these persons. If they might have even persons in Jamaica that might have a job, and if it's someone that's working, we're going to try to address some of these problems tonight. So that's what I'm trying to say. We're going to first address the issue, then we're going to break it down a little different and still see how and what you have been doing so we can start making things happen. Put it that way. So Miss Mabel, which is one of the person that you're currently talking about, let's try to talk about Miss Mabel's situation and what areas Miss Mabel would need help, and then we'll move on to another person.
No, Miss Mabel is not in a tight spot at this moment because Miss Mabel already benefited with a roof. She already get a house and stuff like that.
Okay.
So as time to time, I normally take food for her on a monthly basis. So she's not really a big issue right now. She's okay for now.
Okay, so Miss Mabel mainly only need basic necessities.
Only need food.
Okay.
She's good for now.
Got you. All right.
She's okay. We have some ladies on my program. Whenever I said I'm going to go and visit Miss Mabel, they will always come together to get food. So she's not really a big issue.
Got you.
Right now, at this moment, the burning issue at this moment right now is a mother with 3 children that is currently living in a folk home that was formerly a pig pen. Now, that mother right now at the moment, I am trying to get material to purchase to build up a foundation for that mother, so that she and the children can come out of the folk home that she's currently in. Because when you look at the video, you can literally see the mesh and the tarpaulin that back up the place. You can look on the ground and you will see the steel full manure. Yes. And if you're there in person, you can definitely smell the steel full manure there. So no, that's not safe at all. And since I post the video on my page, CDA stepped in to take away the children.
Okay, so let's talk about what you said the name of those persons that came in. PDA or CDA, correct?
Yeah, the Child Protection Police stepped in to take the children because of the mother living condition. So, she called me last night. She was crying that CDA stepped in to take away the children when I put out the video and stuff like that, and persons disclosed her address. I didn't disclose the address because I didn't want any trouble. Right. But persons disclosed the address who would have known her, and then so CDA got there, but CDA never get the children them. So right now she have to take the children to some other place to stay, so that CDA don't get the children. So right now I am trying really hard to get some support
to get her into somewhere
to build up the place as fast as possible.
Right.
So today Mr. Damian Young is an MP. So he called when he saw the live last night. He watched the live last night that I did last night, and he called me last night and said he didn't win in the constituency or whatever the case is, but he saw the video and stuff like that, and he would want to come on board with me to donate $100,000 towards the building material. So he leave that money at the hardware, so I'll be getting some steel from that money that he leave at the hardware.
So you're building you're trying to build her a room, or you're trying to build her a room, a bathroom, like a flat, like a room, a bathroom, and a kitchen, I would assume.
A flat.
Yes.
A flat. A big room, and a bathroom and a kitchen.
It's herself and 3 kids. So if she get a room, it's possible where it can have sufficient area where she herself can be comfortable and the 3 children would be comfortable as well. But they'll also have somewhere that they can make their meals and a bathroom that they can use, a bathroom facility.
Yes, because currently the bathroom that they have right now is outside. Is an outside zinc up place that is not safe none at all. If you're using that toilet right now, anybody that is passing by, they can literally see what you are doing.
Right.
So she's gonna get a bathroom. The foundation start digging out today. So hopefully we'll get the foundation pave off and get the blocks going up and stuff like that for next week.
So as it is now, she has the land already, so no one has to worry about that. She has everything. All she needs is just materials to build the property and maybe funds to pay the persons that are gonna do the work, right?
Yes.
Okay. And what we're gonna do, so what's her name?
Her name is Moya.
That's Moya. And she has 3 kids.
Yes, 11 years old, 5 years old, and 3 years old. 2 girls, 1 boy.
Gotcha. But in addition to building Moya a property or a home so she can be comfortable, how is there a way that if someone is also even in that area eventually where we can help her to be sufficient with that, maybe that same coop that she lives in now, maybe she can start doing something there to help the kids to maintain and go to school too. So that would also be
right now at this current moment, I was forced to get the call because the person for the full coop need the full coop to raise their
that's
chicken.
not her space.
Her.
That's not her space.
No, it's not her full coop. So the person needs the full coop to raise the chicken, and that's how it even forced to get me involved so that she don't have anywhere to go and the person need the full coop. But Maya can do here, she can do here. So when I go and visit her next week, I am going to ask her what would she want to do to provide for her children continuously, because currently she do bar work on and off,
right,
week on and week off. She been doing bar work right now at the moment.
But we want to really help her so we know she is okay, because having 3 children, unsurety is not helpful, because you want to ensure that they are able to eat and be comfortable, and you don't want to have, like last night I think I overheard that she was in a situation where she was having suicidal thoughts because of the idea that she's not sure what the situation is with her kids, if the CDA should come and take the kids, and how and what would happen. So she was really worried and so on. So I'm assuming you talked to her and know there is actually a plan in mind to get things going, but money is still needed, because I know that materials in Jamaica are very expensive too.
Very expensive, because it's almost 200,000 a ton for steel now, so it's very expensive. However, pertaining to the kids, getting something to eat and stuff like that, the kids go to school, they've been going to school,
yes,
and honestly,
yes,
they're not going to their bed without meal, because yes, Maya, she's very, very hard working. She don't sit down.
Yes.
Somebody has some clothes up the road and run the road for wash, she sit down and she wash it.
Yes.
Just to make sure the kids them eat and them go to school. Them not stop from school and them not go to bed without eating.
Okay, good. What we're gonna do, we're gonna make sure that we put your information as far as how people will be able to get in contact with you, to give you or send you funds to help in her situation. But other than Maya, do you have any other particular person in line right now that has a situation that it is either similar or as bad that needs help? It might be different.
I have Shernelle. Shernelle is she have a disability. She's unable to walk, so she walk on her knees. Shernelle said that when she have her second child, she have two kids. When she have her second child, she coming out of the taxi and she just fall on her knees. And that's where it was. She did not walk from that time until now. So Shernelle only have one room. She get that room from some program, and she don't have a bathroom. She don't have a kitchen. No, this room is a very small room, and she have a 2-burner stove that is about 4 inches from the bed. Now she have to climb up on a stool to prepare meals, and it is really not safe for her to climb up on that stool to prepare meals, because if anything should happen, if the one of the child kick foot touch the piece of iron right there, and then the pot upon the stove will turn over on her. And if the breeze blow too hard and blow the sheet, it blow underneath the stove, and then the entire place will catch a fire. So right now, I am currently working on getting Shernelle a bathroom,
Yes.
and a kitchen, so that she'll be able to use the wheelchair to push from the room to the kitchen to the bathroom instead of walking outside on her knees, because one of her knees is currently swollen right now because she move around outside and she move around on a stone, and her knee swell up right now because she squeeze her knee on a stone. So if she want to defecate, she have to go outside, and she have to make her way to the closest part where she can find for defecate and stuff like that. And now that is not safe. And so if she have the kitchen and the bathroom, she'll be able to push through the wheelchair, go through the kitchen, go through the bathroom, and life will be much better for her.
What ages are her kids?
I don't remember exactly the age of her kids, but she have 2 kids.
Okay.
So yeah, well, I don't remember the age, but her project started
Before?
2 days ago.
Okay.
2 days ago, the project started 2 days ago. So Roman is currently working on that project now, but we still need more material and money for Roman's salary.
Gotcha. And that's Shernelle. And anyone else? Shernelle, I'm sorry. Anyone else within that region that you need help on?
No, I don't have anybody with any project like that, other from elderly persons who would have needed food. I have Miss Lester, I'm gentleman by the name of Mr. Lester. He lives up in a bush. And he doesn't have any electricity up there. The closest neighbor to him is willing to give him some electricity, but he will need about 2 or 3 rolls of wire. And one of the wire, one of the roll of wire costs about 20-something thousand, and he will need about 2 or 3 rolls of wire to get electricity, because where he's at, he's alone in the bush. If he's dead today, nobody will know that, okay, then he's dead, unless somebody who normally go check him every now and then would pass through and realize that they don't see him or don't hear from him, and then they will find out. So you really need some electricity up there, because it's in a woodland and it's very, very dark.
Right. It's a good distance away from mainland, and but somebody is willing to give him the electricity. He just needs the wire in order to get to the person's property.
The closest neighbor to him is willing to give him some electricity. Other from those persons that I just mentioned, the other persons who are on the program, they are mainly elderly persons, and what they would have need is like diapers, bed pads, food, and stuff like that.
Diapers, bedpans.
Bed pads, bed chucks.
Oh, chucks.
And yeah, because I have persons on the program who are bedridden and do not have a lot of support, so they would have need diapers and bed chucks and bed pads and stuff like that, and look at things to clean them up and those stuff. Right. Those are the stuff that they mainly need, and like food stuff. because I have a disabled lady. I get a couple of missed calls from her today while I was in Chilani. And anytime I see her call me, I know say she call me say Miss Anna, me no have no pampers and me do the work. Or she call or something like that.
Right.
When she don't have no pampers, she not really have a family support. So she always a call. So a person like that. So pampers, diapers and stuff to clean them up and wipes and those stuff. Food can't be too much.
Right. So but is it, do you for example, if we were to get like barrels and stuff back in the United States, would you be able to get it down there and so on?
Yes, persons could contact me on WhatsApp and I will send them the shipping details, how to ship the barrel. Because food and diapers is really, really needed.
Okay. Well, that sounds like something that can happen too, for sure. And any form of food items would be helpful to once you get it, then you'll be able to split it amongst how and whatever. You'll know how to handle that part of it. That's not an issue. But it's just to put it together and then send it over there.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So I have Moya and I have Shernelle and I have Mr. Lester that you need help for so far as persons. Other people need help. It doesn't mean that they don't. But what happened is mainly food and diapers, bed chucks, bed pans, and food supplies. Tell me if I'm getting this correct.
Yes, correct. You're correct.
Okay. And how about you getting around and so on? Because you said sometimes gas is an issue. So if you're able to get and handle yourself as far as having your vehicle up and running, you would be able to still do more as long as you have the supplies and things that you also need.
Sometimes, most of the times, I fix my vehicle myself, I service my vehicle myself, and I buy my gas myself because I do have a job. But if today I need some gas and I cannot afford to buy the gas today, I don't have the money to buy the gas, and I'm going to Chilani, going to Clarendon, going to St. Elizabeth, and I take up my phone and I go on my live and I say, guys, please, I'm asking you guys, please do help me buy some gas. I'm going to a different parish and I want some gas. Persons God always provide. Somebody always send something. If I even $10, $20, somebody always send something to purchase the gas. So that's not really a big issue because I normally buy the gas for myself. But if I do ask for assistance to get gas, God always sends somebody on the life to buy the gas for me to go.
And make it work.
Right.
That sounds like a plan. So pretty much if you have your ways and how you go about as far as trying to get the sourcing to get that. That's not really that major of an issue. But what really needed now is to get some funds, actual cash to buy the supplies that's needed to help Maya to get her structure together and to help Shernelle to be able to get a kitchen, you said, and a bathroom.
Yes, and I forgot this young lady in the program. Her mom died. Her name is Shanique. Her mom died, and her mom was the sole breadwinner of the family. Her mom died and left 7 children behind. Now Shanique decided that she wanted to go to nursing school, so she go to the school, and she registered at the school, not knowing where the help is going to come from, to finance or pay her tuition or anything like that. So she's currently in nursing school, and the program is sending her to school. Donors donated to pay the tuition fee for the year. I don't remember the exact figure. She would have to look for the receipt to tell me because she had the receipts and stuff.
Right.
So donors donated to pay the tuition for the year, and even today she was on live with me because she needed $18,000 to pay for NCT vet assessment fee, and there's donors on the program really helping her to go through nursing school because she already started and we don't want her to drop out of school, and the program is sending her. So if the program stopped today, then her dream will go down the drain. So she really needs some help because sometimes it's really, really rough on her to get food stuff. And so she was saying that if she get some chicken to raise and stuff like that, she would raise the chicken.
Yes.
And she would be able to find her lunch money sometime to go to school, because it's persons on the program each time, every 2 weeks or so. And you have to remember, guys, remember that Shanique do not have any lunch money and in taxi fare to go to school. Remember, she cannot stop go to school and she has stuff to do at school. So she would really take a bit more help.
Gotcha. But her help mainly now would be to set up something to become self-sufficient in order to be able to transfer back and forth to school. So like getting some, you said getting some chickens. Does she already have a coop, or she need to build one as well?
She already have a coop. So if she get chicken and feeding, it will help out. It will take off some of the stress of the program, and then we could focus on persons who are in desperate situation. But school is a must and education is the key, so we cannot put her on the back burner. But we would really love to get some help for her to, get the small business started so she can have it to help finance herself.
Yes, that definitely would work, and that really is not anything too difficult, because honestly, if someone already has the facility and all they really need to put in there is just the chickens and the feed, that's something that can roll because once you really start it, when you sell it, other than the fact that she's making money to go to school, you can still, it's something that can be consistent.
Yes, and if anybody is able to donate a laptop to her for school, it would be really appreciated, because she's doing nursing. She have a lot of assignments to do, and because she don't even have a phone, she don't have a phone to use. She don't have a phone to use. So the other day she had some tests, and when the schoolwork sent in the WhatsApp group, whatever she do not get at school face to face, she get it in the WhatsApp group. And because she don't have a phone and she was to use somebody tablet to get the work from, then she missed out on getting all of the assignments, and she don't have a laptop to get her work done. So by the time the internet cafe to close up, taxi would have stopped run to go where she is living, because she's not living too close to the town. So she have to leave the internet cafe with her schoolwork unfinished to hurry to get the last taxi to go home. So if she get a laptop, it would be of great use to her education.
Yes. All right. So how do you normally accept donations or get donations?
I have Zelle, Cash App, PayPal, and for those persons who do not have access to those methods, Cash App, Zelle, or PayPal, they can always contact me on my WhatsApp number to get information to use MoneyGram, Western Union, JN Money Transfer, RIA, or Zoom JMMB.
Okay, that definitely. We will be posting all these details that are the stuff that are needed, as well as how to get in contact with Lady Anna, as well as the different persons so far that are needing help. And in addition to who she mentioned, anything that can cushion the program does help, because for someone to take the time out of themselves to do so much at this young age, I don't know if you guys know, but people, Lady Anna started talking a little bit earlier than some of you might have was able to join, and I'll have her repeat a little bit more on that details just so you guys can know. But this really is a young woman, very strong young woman that's taking the time out to do this for people. She will travel so far as from Mandeville all the way to St. Elizabeth. I don't know if you guys, some of you might have not been to Jamaica. Some of you might have left Jamaica a long time ago, but a lot of things has changed. And number one and main thing that has changed is the price of everything. The price of gas has changed. The price of life has changed. The lifestyle has changed so much, and it costs more to move around. Just leaving your house is money. And it's not easy for someone to be doing and keep on doing and trying, you know. A lot of people, when you get older, people forget about the elderly. People forget that people still need help while whether they're on their feet or they're on their knees, whether they're on their knees or they're on the bed where they can't move. And you really have a lot of people that either they don't have family members or family members have just gotten so busy that they're not really putting the time and taking the time out to take care of them. But we who care still care and want to do some good for these people while they're still around us. And Lady Anna is the perfect example of an angel. Trust me, because a lot of people don't take the time out to even look in your direction if you can't reach out something for them. So again, Lady Anna, I'll allow you to talk some more to these people so they get some details as far as what's going on and anything else that you want to mention while we're on here.
Okay, so as I said earlier on, sometime with the charity, I love giving, and I've been always giving from I was really, really young, because I started giving from I was younger, and kids was I could comb hair properly, so persons would want the hair to comb, and I would normally comb the children here for free, so they could go to school, and if they come home and they cannot do their schoolwork and they ask, I would always render some assistance. So I'm always giving, if anything at all, as small as a mustard seed, I would always give, because my grandmother was a giving person, and she taught me how to give, how to share. So I'm always sharing. But doing this charity now, some days I feel like giving up and just stop doing the charity. Oftentimes I said, me I go just focus on my job, do, cause me have my job I do when me used to do my work, and me never in no social media, and I ask nobody if donate, and nobody want to feel in the talkings with me, because doing the charity right now, it's really, really rough. It's like you don't have a normal life. If I should buy a new hairstyle right now, put on a new hairstyle right now, and go to a restaurant and sit down, because I'm doing the charity, a lot of persons would come and they would say, oh, a charity, make you wait a week there. And my husband don't like it.
Yes.
You understand me? My family never like it. And then it become a burden and a strain. But when I look back and see even the homeless persons who are on the street in Mandeville, a couple of them, because I always go out there and give them food, a couple of them would have known the vehicle. So whenever time them see the car, sometimes I park, and by the time I walk and come back,
you see people waiting.
Them wait at the car till I come.
Yes.
So, and these things just keep me going when I come and I see them at the car, I them awake, and and they're helpless and they need something to eat. So these things keep me going. And when I go and I visit an elderly person, and they give you a good word of encouragement,
yes,
those are the things that really keep me going. But you have some days where it become really, really draining, when you have persons out there in social media, them judge you, and everybody go like, them judge you, them dirt you, and these people don't really take the time out to meet me or know me for a person, if you know who me is. But it's like when you're doing charity, you don't have a normal life no more. You can't go nowhere. You can't do certain things. There's a charity money. Use charity. I said you go to charity, and when persons donate to the charity, right?
Yeah.
How the charity program run, you have to call out the person's name. You have to count out the money in the video, because a lot of persons, when they donate, they are looking to see
you
calling out the money and giving it to Rose. They are looking to see you call out the money and you hand it over to Clifton. You are looking to see, okay, you buy the groceries and you show the receipt that this is the receipt for the grocery. I collected $20,000 for donation and the grocery is $19,000, $1,000 left. This is the $1,000 Miss Gloria that leave back from the grocery, and this is the receipt, and this is the grocery. There, and John, Paul, Peter, and Sam donated such and such amount, and you hand it over, and yet to the hand it over, and you journey away and mash up your car, burn out your gas, and all your time where you consume and you go back home and you go your yard and you left the people with them grocery. And when you left it, you get bad name for some people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see that? You take the people them grocery and you take on your yard to go and cook. No, sometimes it doesn't even give me an appetite to go home and have a hot meal.
Yes.
Some days, some persons call, and they give you some good word of encouragement. And when they encourage you, it just strengthens you and just get you back on track. And say, boy, if me stop the program now, the nursing student that got drop out of school, she can't go get to finish school if the program stop, because who's going to help her when I am the voice for the voiceless?
Right.
Who's going to help her? Nobody's going to sit. Sometimes I have to sit on my life for 2 hours, 3 hours, begging assistance to buy some food for an elderly person. Who is going to help these persons who are looking forward? Persons who are bedridden and they are looking forward for, oh, Lady Anna Sue come with some food for me. She will carry pampas. Oh, and you stop the program because of some negative Nancy's, but that might pass judgment.
True.
But besides that, you have more people who really genuinely love what I'm doing. More people who respect me and who are with me than who are against me. But because I am only human, and I am common flesh and bone, I am going to see things, hear things, and I am going to feel away. But, otherwise from that, since of lately, I am just praying more, and I am just focusing on God more, and try to avoid the negativity and the noise of the market, and just focus on the price and do what I am ordained to do.
But he sends his people to you. It's funny you say that, but he sends his people to you because he knows how to make the right connection. That's how we were able to connect, and that's how, even when people say things, and even when people try to bash you, at the end of the day, God is always in control. You know what I mean? And no matter what, it's like everybody trying to say something. Like you said, no matter what, if you go ahead and you try to go in the supermarket now and you decide you're going to take up a ham, all of a sudden you can't buy ham anymore, because you're doing charitable program, and the only money you can use in the supermarket is what comes from the charity. So before the charity, you didn't have any, and even while doing the charity, your husband doesn't have a job, and there's no life other than you doing the charity. And it shouldn't be like that, because people should say and look and notice how you're doing the things you're doing and what you're doing. And at the end of the day, you being comfortable and living a good life still only give you more opportunity to help others. That's how it really works. Because if you get, like, before you were doing this, all these people that you're helping right now, who was helping them? The lady, let's talk about Moya for a second. This is why I allowed you to mention and say all these things before. But let's talk about Moya for a quick second. Moya has 3 kids. How long since Moya has been in her situation?
Moya have been in this situation since March of this year.
Okay.
Moya was living a normal life before. However, Moya said the house that she is living in, the house never did so proper, but she was living there and paying rent. The landlord said his son want the house to fix up the house, and then Moya couldn't find anywhere at all to rent, and they put her out of that house, so she'd have nowhere at all to go. So then she ended up in the phone call. Now Moya said her baby father always sending stuff for the children because he was always going on farm work and stuff like that. However, something happened and he couldn't go back to the farmer. Shortly after that, his daughter passed off, and then a couple months out, and he have to bury his daughter. And then a couple months after that, his mother passed off, and because he was traveling back and forth to the farmer, everybody thinks them have money. So the local money when they save, he have to spend it to bury the mother and the daughter.
Wow.
However, so things now things fall down and she fall on hard times and stuff like that. So she end up in her situation. She said she had reached out to the MP to assist her.
Mm-hmm.
The MP for the area. The MP gave her $10,000. And said he would come back, but he didn't come back. She reached out to TVJ to get some assistance. She was on the news and she did not get any assistance. Her mother saw me assisted a man that was living down there in the bush, close by to where they were living. And her mother saw me take the man out of the bush, came back to him community and build up a dwelling for him. So her mother said, try Miss Anna, because one thing, when you try Miss Anna, even if it's slow,
yes,
it is sure. So you will get help. And she was scared to call because when TVJ come and featured her, everybody have attacked all them different type of things and she never get no help. So she was scared to call me. So she can't take embarrassment again and not get no help. So her mother called me and then that's how I get to meet her.
Wow. So this is why I'm trying to tell you. So no matter what, if you quit what you are doing, even though it feels sometimes like you're feeling discouraged and whatnot, if you quit what you are doing, who's going to help the same people?
I don't know.
So that's it. When you are ordained for something, you are ordained, and that's what it is. So this is your burden that the Lord has put upon your shoulder, and that's why you're doing it. So even though it looks like, and sometimes, like you say, you feel discouraged, but trust me, this is still just the beginning. Because tonight we're still opening a new door for you. Because now the people of Miami are hearing you, the people of South Florida are hearing you, and I don't know if you know, but the population here in the United States is way fast, is multiplied by a lot. And you have Jamaicans that are worldwide. Jamaicans are not just in the US. Jamaicans are in every little nook and cranny of the world. If you go to the North Pole, you find Jamaican. If you go to the deepest, and the other day over in Ukraine, when what was going on over there, you saw that Jamaicans were over there studying in the colleges. So we are everywhere. And at the end of the day, even though people tried sometimes to say things about us, we still love to see each other striving. We still love to see each other doing well. But sometimes you just see the negative because it's what tried to come in front of you more than anything else. If you weren't doing well, even though you have those few people that are criticizing negatively, how many people you have right now that's trying to see what's going on? Hundreds. And it's gonna be like, it's gonna multiply. It's only gonna get more. At the end of the day, when God opened that basket, girl, young lady, when God opened that basket, it's gonna be overflowing. And God don't want to see his people suffer, and he won't let his people suffer. Trust me, he won't. He won't. And even when it feels hard and it feels challenging sometimes, we ourselves have to be empowered by each other. We have to be empowered by the persons who are around us. We have to be, your husband knows what you're doing and he knows your passion. So at the end of the day, even though he knows you go out and you're doing all these things, he's still with you. And that's why God gave you that one, because he know that was the one that's going to stand beside you. Trust me. So at the end of the day, go ahead.
I remember I was doing 2 projects. And it was really, really rough. The help was really rough. You know, the donation wasn't coming in.
Yes.
Coming in as fast as possible. And it was my husband who volunteered to come and paint the place himself. As long as I get the paint,
yes,
I will take the day after work and we will come paint you for them.
Wow.
As long as I get the paint. You know, because the money wasn't coming in like that to pay somebody to paint it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And he does his part periodically from time to time, and I'm sure he's doing more.
Sometimes when I'm going to places, like this morning I was going to Chilani, so and he was the one who followed me to Chilani.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I'm going to places and I'm going alone, and if he's not at work, he'll follow me to those places.
Mm-hmm.
So he plays a part in helping me some way.
He plays a major role, man. Trust me. The other day I watched a video with T.D. Jakes. He's a famous preacher from Texas. I don't know if you heard of him or you had time to see much of his programs. But his daughter, he ordained his daughter because of the hard work that she has been done and been doing, and so on. I'm just sharing this little thing so you know. Us sometimes that are children of God, we go through challenges, and a lot of people don't know and won't know, but we know. So he was ordaining her based on her accomplishment, and he's putting the throne down onto her to continue when he stops preaching. And after he was finished ordaining his daughter as now a minister of God, he ordained her husband because he says as long as he's standing beside her, he knows she's all right. And I don't know your husband, I've never met him, but for somebody to be there with you throughout this time while you're doing what you're doing, trust me, he's also a man of God, and he was sent with you for a purpose. So at the end of the day, we're just gonna try our best to do as much as we can to help you and the people who you have on your team, all the people that are on your live, all the people that are watching you, all the people that continue to support you. We also hats off to them, because at the end of the day, if they weren't doing it and continue doing it, I wouldn't be able to meet you and I wouldn't be able to have this discussion with you. But at the end of the day, you have good people around you as well. So those few that will try to say whatever they gotta say, it's also a part of life. We just brush that off the shoulder and move on. You know what I mean? Whenever things like that happen, it's just to strengthen you every now and again. But don't worry about it. You got this, girl.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got this. And on our end, whatever we can try to accomplish. If I meet people now that I know, because I had a lot of stuff the other day and I gave them away too, because there's a church here that send containers to Jamaica. So I gave a church here a lot of things the other day to send down. But now that we are communicating and so on, we'll see what can be put together, and then whoever I meet and whatever, I'll talk to people who I know personally and see what can be done. And other than that, now that people know, and I'm going to put all these details together, you're going to see we're going to have people reaching out to you and making sure that these people who you're talking about here get the stuff they need, because it's going to happen.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. But you personally, I'll say, let me know what's going on and everything. Don't be shy to talk, and let the people know, because we can't keep secrets when people need food to go to their bed. We can't keep secrets when people need truck to sleep. A lot of people don't understand, but let's talk a little bit about the medical, so people can really know what's happening with these people that said that they need a diaper, a brief is what they call them, or a depend, or a bedpan, or persons who need a truck. Let's talk about a little bit about those things. We understand Moya's situation and we understand Shernelle's situation, but not everybody might be able to buy the stuff that they need. Even though, yes, if they send 10, 20, $5, whatever you have, it all adds up. Don't worry about it. If you can send it via Zelle and the Cash App, whatever small amount you donate still helps. And if you can send it via Western Union, if it's a $50, if it's $100, don't think because of pride it won't be accepted. It helps. Trust me, it helps. So we're gonna multiply those numbers and make it work. But I was saying, in reference to the medical supplies that you need, we want to talk so people can understand who's never been in the medical field, why it's so important for people to have these stuff to live on a day-to-day basis.
All right. I have on the program her name is Sophia. Miss Sophia, I don't remember the name of her, because so much persons on the program, they are sick.
Yes.
And they have so I can't remember their sickness.
Mm-hmm.
But Miss Sophia, but I can tell you how them look, what going with them. So Miss Sophia now, she's bedridden. She can't walk, none at all. She's in Clarendon.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Sophia one of her foot, she have blood clot. So because she have the blood clot and stuff like that, she end up I think she was having bed sore one of the time. So a sore broke out on her foot, and her bones get really weak. So as the years go by, her bones get weakened and weakened and weakened. I don't remember what she was diagnosed with, but she she's in the bed and she have this sore on her foot, so she have to get the sore just like twice per week. Now the taxi fare to go is like 1,500 Jamaican dollars. That is less than $20, and that is less than $20 US.
Yes.
To show you that if a person really send at $20, it is much for some persons who really don't have it none at all.
Yes.
So she has to go to the hospital, go to just at the clinic 2 times per week, and she sometimes she don't even go for the week. So the store daddy and it one just and the wall works there. So medical is very, very important for her.
Yes.
And she has to wear diapers. She live with her grandparents. Her grandparents are 80 years old. Grandfather and grandmother 80 years old, and them take care of her. So it really rough on them. To find diapers and stuff for her, it really rough. So she have to know what she eat because she can't afford to get no run in her belly. And to go to get the dress like 2 times per week, sometimes they cannot afford to go and get it. She have to get I don't remember the pill name, but she have to get some pill for the blood clot to light down the blood clot.
That's like that you have some over the counter ones that's like aspirin, but you also have some that are preferably prescribed. It depends on the condition of where the blood clot is located, and it also depends on how much, because the medication helps so it thins the blood out. There's a thing with that though. Even once she's taking that medication, if she falls or hurt herself, it's not good for her because she'll bleed out real quicker because her blood is thinner.
She can't walk, so she not gonna hurt herself because she can't walk. She the one place.
Okay.
She bedridden. So she is there now, and it really rough. So she's medical, and the medication what she'll take is very expensive too. I think we don't remember for 2 weeks supply or 1 week supply. What she have to pay for $10,000. So sometimes she can't even take the pill as how she's supposed to take it. Sometimes she can't take it because she don't have enough medication to take. So sometimes she have to
trying to stretch it out.
Yes, I can't take it again. So you see, for her medication is really, really important for her. Now, like Miss Mabel medication now, sometimes she forget our pressure pill or our next pill. And sometimes it's self-serve, where them get it for free at the clinic. Sometimes they don't have it. And if they don't have it, Miss Mabel cannot live without the medication. One time, she catch a mild stroke because her medication run out, and the medication didn't have, the free one wasn't at the health center for what the government provide.
Yes.
They never have none. And I am living in Mandeville, she's living in Chilani, so her pressure run up and she catch a mild stroke. Now, I have to take on my life and I have to run on the life fast. To tell the people on the life say, Miss Mabel catch a mild strokes because her medication run out, she have no pressure pill and whatever, and her pressure they way up. And persons who would have known her from a long time on the program, and the program just a start up, them send money and me of a job going to Chilani and go get the medication so she can get the medication. So medical is very, very important. Very, very important with the persons right now. And some persons cannot afford it. Some persons can't afford it. I used to have a recipient on the program by the name of Akela Green. I think she do about 9 surgeries.
Wow.
She do about 9 surgeries. And one of the time I was trying to get some money because she have a surgery for, I think it was $700,000. And I was trying to accumulate up some money so that she can go to do the surgery. But then I was trying to get the money, and she was short of, I think it was 100,000 or a little bit less than 100,000. I went to go to the hospital to do this surgery. She was admitted in the hospital. So I couldn't give her the money. But her mom come to meet me in the town. And when her mom come to meet me in the town and her mom leave Mandeville and go to Kingston at the hospital to get this to pay for the surgery and to explain to them that they don't come up with all of the money and stuff, and they come up with almost the whole of it. And the hospital send discharge her and send her home without the surgery. And so them can't do the surgery
because she shot of
because she not have
100,000.
enough money. Yes, so she have, and the surgery was about, I think about 700,000 or something,
And
somewhere there.
she had 600 or close to 600, and she didn't get it.
Yeah, them send her home. So she have to come home, and when she have the money, she go back. Them admit her for do surgery.
Wow. And that's something that happens all the time in Jamaica.
If you're sick and you're in Jamaica and you don't have no help to pay for your medical expense, just say a prayer, read the Bible, and know say you're dead. And that is a living God Almighty, it's a truth. The young lady that was in Kingston, I told her, was admitted in the hospital, and she was sending me the pictures when she was in the hospital. She was supposed to do some test. I don't remember, something with her kidney she's supposed to do. And them tell her she have to go buy the something them for do the operation. I don't remember what their name, but me did it go for the place at town to make sure stay. She never tell me no lie. And whatever, when me meet her at Kingston for the donation, me go to the place where it's something them to buy and get the paper from her for doctor. And me make sure they pay the money to them and read everything. And them say the money is not refundable. So that means say she could tell me say the money she could tell me say that she want and then take back money because I'm really sick. She is sick for you. Come look at all her medical paper. Yeah. And she admitted in the hospital several times to do the test. And because she never have all of this something them to carry in, they then use. This is a public hospital, but you have to buy this stuff and take in for them to use. So they're gonna do the surgery for free, but you have to buy this stuff that they need. And it was 90-something thousand for the stuff that they need to use on you. You have to buy it yourself. So she never have everything. And she admitted 2 times for the surgery, and they send her home back because she did not have everything. So even though the hospital is free,
yes.
If you're supposed to do something at the hospital and they said, okay, you need to go outside and buy this needle, or you're going to go outside and get this catheter or whatever, something name, and you have to go, how do you buy it? If you don't have the money to buy it, the hospital is not going to give you the surgery. So they now give the surgery and give a bill and give a payment plan to come back and come pay it. So oftentimes people will call on the program to get help. One lady, she had cancer. She had a surgery to do. I think the surgery that she had to do was $100 and something thousand. And she wanted to do the surgery. No, they would not do the surgery unless she have the money. So when I went there to do a marathon for her, the same day I go there and do the marathon, yes. It was the same day I get all the money for her to do the surgery. And that is how she could be able to do the surgery, because if the date come, I don't have the money to do the surgery. Remember, they are going to push back the surgery to a later date to give it the time to accumulate the money. If you don't have the money, you get no attention. If you have the money.
I don't understand why it's like that, but that's how it is. And then I don't feel like there's much defense for the people.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's much defense for the people, because with what's her name? I think it's Shernelle is the one that has that she walks on her knees.
Yes.
How is it that she's able? They just send her home and she can't really do much. She still need a little help. Like no one has a plan for her, because isn't there does she has a wheelchair?
Yeah, she had a wheelchair because when she went to her daughter's school, she used the wheelchair. When she went to the doctor, she used the wheelchair.
But does someone travel with her?
Yes, her
Okay.
mom always assisted her and stuff like that.
Okay. Wait, I didn't get that part of it, but okay. It feels a little better now that to say that she has some form of assistance. But every
Yes, and when she go to the doctor, her mom will take her and stuff.
okay, good. It's still rough, man. Trust me, it's still rough, and it's good to really know that you are able to help all these people, and plus the ones that you don't even mention.
A lot of persons, some persons go through the program, I don't even remember them. I was writing down some persons who gone through the program.
Mm-hmm.
Since the program started, I reached at 53 persons and then I stopped. Some persons pass off, like last week, one of the recipients that benefited from the program, he died last week and his funeral is not yet. And another lady, she benefited from the program, she died I think it's 2 3 months now. And another little girl, she died. She died as well since this year. So we have 3 persons who died, who benefited from the program since year.
But they just died from not natural or almost similar situation to what they were already going through. It's not something detrimental that happened, right?
No,
Okay.
no. The person who died recently, the caretaker that was assisting him, she told me that I asked her what really happened. So she told me that she wake up in the morning and she go in her room and she give him breakfast because she was trying to give him tea before she bathe him up. So she said she give him tea and then she bathe him up and she change him pampers and when she change him pampers and I go put on him shirt and say no, I want to put on his shirt in hot. And then she said him defecate and then she clean him. And then she said to him say, Mr. Cohen, Mr. Do that smell so. It smells so different from the rest I do to them. This and that smell right, man. And then she said, she cleaned him up back and she don't put on the marina and he said, no, he don't want to put on the marina. He want to lay down on his belly. And she said, no man, lay down on your back like you say hard. And she said, he not stop roll over until he go up on his belly. And she just hear make 2 sound and then she don't hear nothing more from him. And when she asked him, and I check if he alright. And then she realized him dead.
Wow.
The next lady now who died a couple months ago, she had strokes. She had multiple strokes, and then she developed another stroke in the last half and ended up in the hospital. Now when she ended up in the hospital now, she wasn't eating anything. So she come home and then she go back to the hospital and then she didn't make it home. And then Shaniqua is a young girl now, young baby girl. She's 13 years old when she died. She was sick. She was sick with bowel disease. Nice little girl. Everybody love her. She was sick with bowel disease. She was I don't want to talk about that one.
Okay. All right. I understand. I tell you, it's challenging. It's challenging. Trust me.
Yeah.
I understand. It's very challenging. But the good thing is,
sometimes
when you do your part, you feel comfortable, I know, inside to know you helped and to know you had the opportunity to help.
Sometimes it's when you're doing the program, when you're doing the charity program, sometimes you get attached to the persons that you're helping.
Yes.
You get attached to them. So it's that you're a family.
Yes.
So it is not easy when a recipient that you're really close to, like have some recipients on the program, if something should happen to them, it's going to be really, 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 really hard and stressful on me because I get so close to them. I'm like Miss Gloria, Miss Mabel, and I get so close to some of the recipients. That's when if something happened to them, me stress out.
Yes, you feel it
Me
like
stress
a your
out like
baby,
family.
like your baby. You know.
Yeah,
I understand.
yeah. So it really in a easy. It's not easy.
But like I said, I know for a fact that once you're doing it, and you're doing it because you love it, you're doing it because you have a passion for it. There's no shortcuts. You know what I mean? And you just have to continue because you have plenty. Sometimes you have some people that need the help, and if you don't really, I know for a fact that somebody else have to come to you and say, Lady Anna, I know this lady or I know this guy that he needs some help. Come, let me bring you and show you. And then that's how you get introduced to them, or that's how you end up get to start assisting them. Because we have a thing that's called pride, and we might be going through a moment and we just think it's too much to try and say, I need help or I need assistance. And that's, but when you're doing it every day, it's like you want to help, even when it's a struggle for you too, when you have your own situations and you have other things happening in your life that is also challenging, but yet the nature to help let you can't sleep at nights.
True. Because I remember one day, I was laying down, I tell myself that I'm going to rest today. I could just rest today. Me not do no work. Me not do no work. I me not do no charity. Me just want to lay down. I'm lay down and so me not go up on the road today. Me I lay down and rest myself. I was laying down in bed, and while I was laying there, I got my live and I was talking to my fans on live, and I said, guys, I'm staying home today. I'm resting today. And while I was there, you know, a lady, a disabled lady, yeah, she's disabled. She's from down St. Elizabeth side. And the lady called me, and when the lady come on the phone, her exact words was, Mrs. Carnegie, mom. Big woman,
Yes.
And she said, Mrs. Carnegie, mom. Me no have no pampers and my bottom wet up. Me no have no food. This morning, last night, me eat two biscuit and me no eat none from morning, mom. And my pampers, me no have no pampers and me want change. And me hungry. And when she called me, I tell the man, it break up everything in me, dig up everything in me at that time. And I was to, person was on the live, and I was to start asking the person who was on the live for assistance to get food and diapers and some other stuff. And then she said, Mrs. Carnegie, you can buy KFC if you money have come. A long time I eat pizza KFC, mom. And so I was to get out of bed, get a shower, get dressed, get ready, and I was to drive all the way down to where she's living. So it take me 3 hours to drive, one drive, come back, plus the time that I spend down there. And so sometimes you get so attached to these people when they call you to assist them.
Yes.
You don't know, you can't say no. It's like you're obligated to them. It's like you're picking them. It's like your mother.
Yes.
Because when they call you and know them son, and most of these persons, they are elderly persons that a lot of persons forget about. Because when you become an elderly person, in most persons' sight, you already live your life already. You can't go dead. So a lot of persons put the elderly persons on the back burner, and
Exactly.
they don't really,
Exactly.
they don't really focus on the elderly person. So when them call me, when an elderly person call me, no matter what me I do, me always have to left it, drop it, get up out of my bed, and me have to go to them assistant because they are vulnerable and they are not young like me who can run up and down and make ends meet. They are old and they cannot help themselves. So that's why I always tell persons that food, it always good for me have one bird on so me have food in it.
True.
It always good. Even if me not have no meat, because I was trying so hard for persons to donate for me to get a freezer. Because sometimes persons would want to give me chicken for the charity or stuff like that, and I don't have anywhere to put the meat.
So is it that
anywhere to store it.
do you still have you got the freezers yet or no?
No, I haven't gotten the freezer yet.
All right,
it
let's
be very, very good.
let's
because,
talk.
you see?
Let's talk about that for a second. But before we do that, we didn't do this in the beginning, and I want to talk to you have a few people on your. I think your numbers went down since the phone died, and my numbers went down. But for everybody who's on the YouTube and for persons who are on the Facebook, I want you guys to do me a favor right now before we go any further. I need everyone to go. I'm gonna comment on. I'm gonna try to post it on Lady Anna's Facebook, and you persons who are already on the YouTube know. I want you guys to hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna share the link on the comment section right now. So you guys who are on her live, all you guys gotta do is just hit the subscribe button, and then you will be added on the channel. And then you could still go back on her Facebook live because you guys are able to see her then, but you'll just be subscribed to the channel as far as Rio TV. And the person who are already on the YouTube, go ahead now and hit that subscribe button, please. We wanted to endorse that from earlier, but because we were caught up in the message, which is very important, we didn't want to leave that out before we go any further. And I know some of you might drop off in a bit, so please go ahead, hit that subscribe button to make sure you're on the link. And then, Lady Anna, we're gonna continue on the idea of the freezer. Give me some details on that. What is happening with that? And how would that be beneficial for you to have?
Okay, always the freezer. Getting the freezer would be very beneficial for me and the program because, for example, persons would say donated to me 4 chicken, or they would give me 5 chicken. What I would do is to put the chicken in the freezer, plug it in and have it in the freezer. So I have an elderly person who called me up there, so now the person called me this evening, and me not have no time to go on live again. If you go say me I go try get assistance to buy some food stuff for the person. But if me have the freezer now with the meat tonight, could I take out the meat out of the freezer, go in my kitchen, take out some rice, take out some seasoning, go in the fridge, take out one onion, and take out one something, throw some oil and go back and run go up the road and give her. But if me not have the freezer, me not have no meat in the freezer,
right.
So when somebody give me 5 chicken,
right.
me have to often time
try and give them out because you don't have anywhere to store them.
Not really desperately in need of it.
Gotcha. So yes. Quick question: do you know any idea on a cost for a freezer?
A small freezer, the last freezer was purchased for a recipient. I think it was $72,000 for the deep freeze.
You saw that? Did you see the size of that one that was purchased?
I may buy it for the
okay,
recipient.
so you know, so that size would be okay for you. That size would be okay for you.
I wouldn't need anything bigger than that. I would need anything bigger than that because I don't have the space to put it, and it's not like say our business run with it.
Yeah, you're not really running storage. It's just
need anything bigger than that.
Mainly temporary, and that could hold enough as far as what, just to keep things on the go, right?
Yes, and when I have food drive, some food drive like Christmas coming now, I'm going to plan a food drive for Christmas. So my elderly persons who live all in the bush around, so young people got a grand market. Nobody no member of them because a grand market have a young people time. Yes. So those persons who are living in the bush and cross. So more than normally a food drive, and more than normally a food drive for 2 days. So the elderly persons or the less fortunate mothers who have children and cannot provide a Christmas dinner, I would take down their names, go in the communities and find those less fortunate persons,
yes,
and gather them together, and then I call them and say, okay, on this date, you guys gonna come and meet me here, and when they come, I will give them the meat, the food, orderly as well, and the persons who are much more older,
right,
and cannot come out to go take
you can bring it to them.
For them.
You can bring it to them.
No, you see, Yes, I normally bring it to them. So on the first day now, when I'm buying the meat, I could get all of the meat. So I
Mm-hmm.
could have the meat in the fridge for the next day. Instead of the next day, I have to get up, go back to join the long line, get the meat tied out, shear it up, and then me have to go drive go Clarendon to go give some elderly persons. Me have to go drive go all over the Manchester to go give some elderly persons. Mother have them parcel out already, put in the fridge. Next morning, me get up, put them out, put them in the igloo, and just take out the food bag them and just go. So me can reach home back before night, so me can come back home to my family. Because oftentimes at night me reach home because me have so much things to do in one day. So the fridge would really make a lot of sense.
Yes, of course, I'm sure it would, and that would help in every aspect where you have like you said, sometimes you have people who they need stuff, but you end up have to hold and give it to who's in front of you instead of securing it for persons who you know really need it because you don't have it, no way to store it. So if you don't have any way to store it, you can't take it home. Where you gonna put it?
And some people who I end up give it to, they can afford to buy. They're not really rich. They're not really rich, and I'm grateful for it.
Yes,
Cause
yes,
you gotta
yes.
go extra.
Yes.
You gotta go extra for them, but they are not so desperate as the persons who I would really want to give to.
I understand. I totally understand. It's a challenging situation, yes, and it's very difficult. But at the end of the day, once things organize in the right manner and you have the right tools, you can execute a lot from what you're doing. And all it
Yeah.
takes is just to open like we're doing tonight, so that people can hear and know and see the actual. Because, for example, for persons who have never visited your platform or your portfolio, once they click on it, they will see different persons and many persons who have been helped. And I saw persons on there during the time of COVID because I saw that you had masks on and people who were on your team wearing their masks. So it's not just something that you're doing just yesterday. This is something that's been going on for a while. And if you go through COVID, all that challenging time, I'm sure it wasn't easy. Trust me. And
Or
and
easy at all.
yeah, and I saw videos of persons, even honestly, even politicians who were going out and doing things, and they end up getting in trouble. So I never traveled to Jamaica in that time because I was scared of coming down there and have to go through the system and how it was. For you to be out there doing all that, trust me, trust me. Like I said, hats off to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So anything else you think you want to give to the people before we go tonight?
No, not really. I think I've said enough.
Okay, good. And I think you people have heard enough and you understand what is going on here. There are challenging people who needs your help, and there are persons who have situations that only with us together is how they can be assisted. And we have someone who has her group of persons who are already able to assist and go out and meet these people. Some of us are busy and we're doing our job and in variety of locations, and we can't get to these people, but Lady Anna, she can, and she already has a list of people who she's helping and a list of people who are in need. I have a list here with the names of different persons and their different situations, which I will be commenting in the post when I'm finished and edit up everything. But just to give you guys a rundown in case you came on late and you didn't get to hear, we have someone by the name of Moya. She's a very strong, very hardworking young lady. She has 3 kids and she met up on some hard times where she's currently living in a chicken coop. Having to raise 3 kids in a chicken coop could not be easy for anyone, and is a very, like I said, a strong, determined woman who she didn't turn her back on her children. And the love that she has for them, she's staying with them in a coop, getting them dressed to go to school. Their school bags are hanged up in the mesh. Their shoes are in there. And she has to make their meals and doing all that stuff. All we're trying to do is to help her to get a room, comfortable room with a kitchen and a bathroom, a flat, so that she can move in with these children. This is not something that can be wait like until next year, until next week. It's something that's needed now. Why it's needed now? Because there's a system in Jamaica that's called the CDA, which has reached out and trying to get to take her children from her. You do not want to imagine going to the hospital to have one baby, two baby, three baby, and then someone want to come and take your children away from you just because they say you're having them in a condition that's not good. They didn't say that they're going to try to help her to put her in a situation that she can take care of her children. The solution that they think is best is to take the children from her. This lady is not someone who is just in a house or in a spot where she's just being loose. She's still working. She's still trying to go out and wash clothes. She's still trying to go out and get a bar job whenever she get a chance. She'll try to do anything she can just to maintain her children. But at this point in time, she needs help now. She needs help now to get those children out of that full coop into a room, covered and comfortable, so that she might not have any further issue with the CDA of Jamaica to take her children from her. That's one person. Other than that person, there's another person that's called Shernelle. She has two kids as well. Her situation is that she's unable to walk, so she's crawling. She has a wheelchair that she travels in throughout when she has to go on her appointments where her mom helps her. And when she's unable to go out and she's home, she's in a small room where the stove is almost touching the bed, inches away from the bed. Can you imagine cooking and the pot turn over? Can you imagine moving, unable to walk as you would used to, but just making a bad move or a bad roll? And then in that house, anything can happen. We want to help this lady to get a kitchen and a bathroom on her current facility so that she can cook out of the room and have her two kids living with her in a more comfortable condition. This is something that's important. How do you feel when you are in your house right now and knowing you're comfortable? This is not a lot. It doesn't take a lot to help them. Whatever you can do helps. As I said, I had to talk to Lady Anna tonight. I had to. I wanted to jump on her live last night and started the discussion, how bad it felt to hear that these people were trying to take the children from Moya. But at the end of the day, we waited until tonight. That's two persons. There's also a third person that's called Mr. Lester. Mr. Lester's situation is that he's an older man, living in, I would consider it, I've never been there, but I've never seen the location, but I've heard that it's a very isolated location. His closest neighbor is willing and offered to give him electricity, but his problem is he don't have the wire to get the power from that person's house to his. So he's asking for donation, he's asking for assistance to get 3 rolls of wire. The 3 rolls of wire would roughly almost reach up to $90,000 because it's over 20,000 for one. But if you can't buy the 3 of them and you can't buy one, it still helps. If you can't buy one and you can donate towards buying one, it still helps. Other than those 3 persons, there are some elderly people who have different medical conditions. Medical conditions from being bedridden. Bedridden is a point where you are in bed, you're unable to help yourself. You might have to be able to roll from one side to the other. You might not be able to get out of bed as you would used to. So what we do is that we use a thing that's called chuck. A chuck helps to separate your body from the bed. The chuck also helps to ease your situation if you make mistakes throughout the night. That means that you can still use the bed the next day just by removing the chuck, placing another one on it. Persons are in need of diapers, adult diapers, male and females. Persons are in need of food items just to be able to put a meal on the table. As it is, if you can't buy a particular item, but you can help by donating some money, it helps. If you can't donate the money, but you can donate the item, depending on where you are, we will try to still figure out a way to get the item to these people that need it. So whatever you can do to help, to make a difference in someone else's life, this is the chance. This is the time where you stop thinking about yourself or your situation, but just try to do whatever you can do to help someone else. Don't worry about it if it's only $20. Don't worry about it if it's only $10. If it's 50, if it's 100, if it's 1,000, it don't matter. Whatever you can do, if you want to remain anonymous, it's no problem. But whatever you can do, try to help someone. I'm trying to do my part, and if you can try, we all do it together. Lady Anna also needs a refrigerator, a freezer, because sometimes she gets chicken, she gets a whole bunch of different items for people, and because she doesn't have a freezer at this moment, she has to try to give out the items instead of trying to put it somewhere that it's gonna go bad. So what we would try to do is if we help her to get a freezer, she can store items to give it to people who deserve it, to people who are in the locations that's not next door, or they might not be able to come for it, but she can bring it to them a few days later. Things like that. Let's try to help Lady Anna help more people. Let's try to help Lady Anna help the people she's currently helping and the people who have these situations. Anna, before you go, anything else you want to tell these people? Because I think I've pretty much detailed the list that I've got, and we're gonna try to make sure that you get all the stuff you can get, and we're gonna try to work with you moving forward and get an update as far as what's going on every now and again, so we can get more people on board as well.
Okay, so I just want to say thanks so much for having me tonight. It was a pleasure talking to you, being on your platform. Yes, and I want to say to the people who are watching, who are listening, little is much when God is in it. As small as a mustard seed, you can help to change somebody's mess into a message. So let us continue to spread love message as we go along our way, so that our living will not be in vain.
Thank you again. Thank you again. And like I said earlier, if no one ever told you before, you're appreciated. You're appreciated and you're loved. Sometimes people wait until it's too late in order to tell people how much they appreciate them or how much they matter. I'm telling you right now so you know. So the little negatives, it's okay. Don't worry about that. Brush that shoulder off, girl, and move on to the next day.
Thank you.
All right, and good people are still in your corner. We'll talk again. We'll touch base, all right?
Thanks for having me.
All right, you're welcome. Have a good one.
Okay.
Bye.